Before I begin today's show, I want to tell you about another show I made, Talking It Out. It's like a cartoon version of Phoning It In with some of the regular contributors to this show on it. So Kevin McGarren, Pearl O'Rourke, Sophie Shanley, and Peter McGann. And you can check that out on the RTE player now. Thanks. Hello, and welcome to Phoning It In, the improvised phone-in show where the callers have no idea what they're calling in to talk about. My name is Dave Coffey. The usual phone lines are open, so get calling. We're going to kick things off this week a little differently. I'm joined on the line by returning guest Barry Trunsel, a human resources expert who has written a new book called COVIDiots and Quarant Queens, Navigating the Modern Workplace on Lockdown. Barry, you don't mess around, do you? New book already?
I've actually had this book in the works for the last 6 years, if you can believe it, Dave. Hello, Dave, how are you? And I just got really lucky with how things went down with my title.
Right, so you were planning a book about human resources in a sort of quarantine situation.
Yes, and I had the title and all, Dave, if you can imagine it.
Wow.
COVIDiots and Quarant Queens.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It was just a fun gibberish title originally, but then luckily the stars aligned, or should I say the SARS aligned, and it just made my book incredibly relevant and made the silly, stupid title work. Makes sense.
And originally it was written as a science fiction HR manual, is that right?
Basically.
Wow. And this is digital only?
Digital only, because you can't get to a bookshop, you stupid idiot.
Well, look, what's your top tip for navigating the modern workplace while on lockdown?
Don't install Zoom, first of all, because if you don't have Zoom, no one can accuse you of anything.
All right. So you don't have Zoom. Somebody says, Jerry, I need to talk to you. We need to have a meeting. It's very serious. And Jerry's like, well, I can't. I don't have Zoom. It won't work on my laptop.
Exactly correct, Dave. Just say, sorry, man, I don't have Zoom. Would a telephone call suffice? And then when they try calling you, just be like, I don't have much coverage where I am.
Make a kind of noise, something like that.
You could do that. You could rub a little sweet wrapper, like a roses wrapper, on the thing to make it sound like that. You could just not answer and push your problems down the line. That's what I like to do. I'm a big proponent of putting things on the long finger.
The long finger. That was the name of your second book, wasn't it?
It was The Long Finger. Yeah. It was part HR guide, part erotica.
Okay, right. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to read that one. So you do like to blend fiction and non-fiction with your HR manuals.
Yeah, it was kind of a HR themed love story about a HR man, a man who worked in HR, and his new secretary, and it was fingering based love scenes were incredible. You think Normal People is sexy, Dave? If you think that new show based on the Dan Brown novel Ordinary People is a sexy watch or a sexy read, you should have read The Long Finger, because Dave, there's some crazy shit in that.
Really? Okay.
One scene, I won't spoil it in case you want to read it, but in one scene, Billy Trunsel, my lead character, gets finger blasted up the ass. I obviously write it in a much less crude way. I kind of paint a picture with words, but effectively that's what happens.
And it's interesting because I feel like you've really cornered the market on the fingering / HR fiction, non-fiction genre.
Dave, I don't want to make assumptions before Googling it, but I'm almost 100% certain that I am the only person who writes such incredible works.
Well, I feel like fingering is generally overlooked in fiction, across the board.
Overlooked in fiction, maybe, but not in the Trunsel household, if you know what I mean.
I do indeed, Barry. I do indeed. Listen,
both
Barry,
myself and my wife are vigorous fingerers of ourselves and each other.
Okay, well, enough about that now. I have an issue with a colleague here on the show, my producer Tom, and he just keeps rebooking the same guests when I specifically ask him again and again to look further afield. What should I do in this situation, Barry?
First of all, I love Tom. He's a legend. This is the third time he's had me on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I think you should reward him, and just not question it, and just tell him he's doing a great job. Alternatively, you could, if you could ask him to book the same guests again.
Okay, so reverse psychology.
Yes.
Book the same guests, Tom.
And then he'll book different ones.
Okay, great. Well, it's a great, simple solution. This is why we love having you back again and again and again and again. We have
That was
some
too
other,
many agains.
yeah. Well, look, we have some other callers, and I want to sort of focus in on our topic of the week. So this week we're talking about.
Is it fingering?
It's not, I'm afraid. No, it's something else you've written a lot about, though. Imposter syndrome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So
It took me ages to finish that book. I kept thinking, ugh, no, I'm not the person to tell this story. Who do I think I am telling this story? But eventually I powered through.
well, look, Michael is on the line. Michael, you feel like everyone in your company is laughing at you behind your back. Is that right?
All day long. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Everybody's having a good laugh.
Where do you work, Michael?
I work in a cheetah farm.
A cheetah farm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got about 100 cheetahs here in Wyoming, and we are just we're farming away, and I just get the feeling everybody's having a good laugh behind my back.
Now, this isn't the cheetahs you're talking about. You're talking about humans.
No, if it was hyenas, if I'd said hyenas, maybe that would have made sense. But no, I said cheetahs. So it's not that the hyenas are laughing at me. No. Cheetahs don't laugh. They just go a big version of meow.
Yeah.
And it's my actual colleagues here. I got it's a family run farm. And it's basically my family is laughing at me.
So your family is laughing at you. Where do you come in the family, Michael? Are you the son, father?
Yeah. All
of those.
I am a son, a father, a brother, an uncle.
Okay. So it's a large family then.
Bitch and a mother.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, Barry.
It doesn't matter.
It sounded like you said something about his mother was a bitch or something.
No, Jesus, no. It was the lyrics to the song. You know, he sounded like he was reciting the lyrics to.
What song are you talking about?
Is it Tori Amos? I'm a bitch. I'm a.
It's not Tori Amos. I'll tell you right off.
I don't know that song. It sounds like Alanis Morissette. Is it Alanis Morissette?
It's not Alanis Morissette.
Not Alanis Morissette. It's not Tori Amos.
No, it's Meredith something. Meredith is her name.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, I told you not to come on mic, Tom, okay? Just stay off the mic. It doesn't matter if we don't know something.
Tommy, baby.
Thanks, Tom, for getting me on the program again. So it's like my whole family is laughing at me.
Why are they laughing at you, Michael?
Well, they think it was foolish opening a cheetah farm.
Right, so this was your idea, and now they all work for you.
The corn business is on the way out. It's just not. Nobody wants corn anymore. You've heard of this, and so we said, okay, well, we gotta come up with something different. We gotta diversify. I said, hey, let's do some cheetahs, and everyone was kind of like, well, yeah, maybe let's shelve that idea, which of course means let's put that into action before anybody else wakes up tomorrow morning, as I understand the phrase. And next thing.
It's not what it means.
What's that, Barry?
It's not what it means. Shelve the idea. You put it back on the shelf.
Yes.
Not to
Let's
be touched.
put it on the shelf of great ideas that need to go straight into action.
Yeah, like you put something on the supermarket shelf when you want to sell it.
Exactly.
I genuinely do see how that could be misconstrued.
Well, look, let's bring in your dad, Adolf. Adolf, what was your initial thoughts when Michael suggested the cheetah farm?
At the time, we thought maybe this will get him off the cliché drugs and get him on the hard and narrows. And he's just been, he's not even like my son anymore. He's just, I don't know where he gets injections from.
Are you saying that you miss me on the hard drugs now that I'm not on the hard drugs anymore? I thought you wanted me off the hard drugs.
It was great fun. It was great fun to watch him. He would pick up his sons, and his sons would drop the babies, and we have so many videos of just him dropping his baby, and like, oh, people cut them now.
Michael, are you the star of Dad Drops Baby, that series of YouTube videos?
Well, yes. So, I mean, I was the star of Dad Drops Babies. We could have come up with a catchier title, but once it was named, it was up on the shelf, and we had to throw it out there.
Yeah,
Like the baby. Did you come up with the idea of a cheetah farm while you were on classy drugs?
Classy drugs. I think you're mispronouncing that. We were
Class
I was on
A.
some
Class A.
well, I don't speak French, but yes, we were on some classy drugs, and I would say, Batman was afraid of bats.
Yes.
I'm afraid of cheetahs. Who isn't? Let's get some cheetahs in here.
Yeah. So it's like a cheetah cave. Does that make you Cheetah Man?
Well,
I'd say more cheetah boy.
Adolf, that's a peculiar accent. Where are you from?
It's hard to say. Some
Literally.
Just come out with it. Come on, Adolf. Just come on, Dad. Let's just
the deep shout of the Netherlands via Dundalk.
Yes. Okay. I was picking up a bit of the Dutch all right.
Loud.
Yes, yeah.
Mostly loud.
So look, has a lot of your money, Adolf, gone into this cheetah farm?
I mean, we made he comes from the baby dropping business first, and I was the original baby droppers. That's the way he's turned out the way he has.
I mean, you didn't put it on video, Dad. Okay, you were just dropping a baby. No one was paying you to it. I don't know how this is a business.
It's a different generation, though. I mean, had YouTube been around when you were a kid, Michael,
no, he was dropping my kids. He was dropping my kids.
Oh, right.
He just wasn't filming it.
I would have been what they say now is virals. I would have gone virals.
Yeah. Is this business making any money?
Oh,
it's making cheetahs.
It's making cheetahs. The cheetahs, they become kind of, at a certain point, they stop liking having sex with other cheetahs. They like to have sex with humans, and I don't really like watching that. But people pay big money to come and do it, and my son likes to provide a service. Cheetah sex.
Yeah. Well, it's it's a fantasy for so many people, isn't it? So are you dressed up as a cheetah, Michael, when you're having sex with them, or how does it work?
Oh, I don't do it.
Whoa.
They'll get high on your own supply.
Yeah. You would, though, if it was Class A drugs, Michael, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. I mean, that phrase is a bit misleading, because if you don't have a supply of drugs, how are you going to get high? That doesn't make any sense. You need to have a supply of drugs.
Steady supply of drugs.
Yeah.
In order to get high. It's true. Yeah.
You gotta get high in your own supply. That's one of the that's another saying.
That's why you don't take advice from Tony Montana.
I don't anymore. He led me down some dark alleys in my life. I can't be a ballerina, no matter how much that guy screams at me.
Barry, I want to wrap this up because I just don't find it that interesting. What is some advice that you could give Michael now to get his family to stop laughing at him and take himself seriously?
What happens is the next time someone's laughing at him, he turns around and he finds the biggest member of his family and he punches them in the throat so hard that they are coughing up blood, Dave. And this is his prerogative. He takes a toothbrush, whittles it down to a sharpened nub, and sticks them in a non-vital area, like maybe the side of the thigh. Mm-hmm. The next person, and then I guarantee you, they'll never laugh at him again. Not even when he's not there.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
You're talking about shanking there, aren't you?
Shanking. I'm talking about the law of the prison, Dave. It's
I was just going to say, this is
workplace.
advice straight from your prison human resources book.
I have to say, I am the biggest in my family, but I'm going to put that into action. I am going to go up, punch myself right in the throat until I'm coughing up blood, and then we'll see who's laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, great advice and a great plan. Listen, I wish you both the best of luck, Michael and Adolf, with your cheetah farm. Who knows? I mean, maybe something like large exotic cats could maybe take off someday. Maybe somebody would find it interesting. Yeah. I can't see it happening.
I don't think so.
Okay, we're going to move on to Sarah. Sarah, we're talking about imposter syndrome. You say you've literally no idea how to do your job. Is that right?
No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing every day. I'm just turning up and showing up and just fucking around. I don't know what I'm doing.
Sarah, you seem like a real idiot. Where do you work?
I work in doctors in a hospital.
You work in a hospital?
Doctor's hospital.
A doctor's hospital, yeah. Well, most hospitals have doctors in them.
Really busy, always on the go, always really busy.
Sure.
But like just winging it.
What's your job there? What do you expect?
I do operations. Nobody asks me to do them, but I just step in and, pick up a scalpel. You really have to just kind of have that mentality at the moment. Just kind of
just do it. Just get stuck in. Yeah. So look, you don't know what the hell you're doing. Have you killed many people in these operations?
I don't know. I think I might have. I might have killed a few, but at the end of the day, they're probably going to die anyway. They're very old.
Well, we're all going to die when you look at it that way.
I know. Yeah. But I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, it is sad though.
A little bit.
You do sound like you're not too worried.
You have to keep cheerful. You have to keep cheerful in this time. You got to keep your mental health going, and you kind of have to just, grin and bear it.
So Sarah, sorry, Barry, go ahead.
Why are you working there?
I started doing the job as a sort of, kitchen porter in the hospital. Just, collecting all the trays and stuff, all the urine bottles.
Yeah, we know what a porter is.
Would have to do.
And then I worked my way up. So I wasn't given official promotions, but I do the jobs. So I was never told oh, you're now a doctor, you're now a surgeon. I just thought they need my help. So I just
all hands on deck.
I'm still being paid the same as when I started.
Yes.
I don't mind. I don't do it for the money.
What do you do it for, Sarah?
Personal satisfaction, really. Why did Mother Teresa go to the streets of Calcutta and help all the babies and the homeless? I don't know. I just do it for myself.
So do you see yourself as a modern day Mother Teresa?
A little bit. I do my bit, and I do more than my bit.
Well, too much more, it sounds like.
Too much more? Is that what people say about me, that I do too much more?
Well, no, I'm just... You're going in and performing surgeries without any qualifications, and you're killing people.
It's common sense, Dave. It's common sense. Somebody's a tumour. You go in, you snip it, pop it in the bin, sew them up. Fine.
Barry, what do you make of this? Because, I mean, it is obviously... it's a great attitude to have in terms of getting stuck in and getting the work done, and she's aiming her sights high.
It's a
the
fantastic
right thing, though.
This is it. These are muddy waters. She has a fantastic attitude. There aren't enough medical professionals out there to combat this ongoing thing. And to be honest,
that's the problem.
All right. And when I see go-getter attitudes like this, in an office sense, you're like, that's the kind of, it's the person who stays the extra, 3 or 4 hours in the evening, even if the boss doesn't ask them to. The medical profession doesn't allow for that kind of go-getter attitude. Frankly, it should.
Yeah.
I agree.
And is most medicine just common sense then? It's just like,
it's luck, Dave.
Any old...
It's 50-50.
Dave, have you ever played Operation?
The game, yes.
Yeah, it's really just the same. It's just the same without the plastic pieces. Just trying to use the tweezers in a very accurate way to grab little things.
But there's no buzz to tell you when you've gotten it wrong, Sarah.
There's no buzz, but there is, breathing.
Okay, yes, there's other ways and means to know if you're getting it right or wrong. Let me ask you this: when you go in, Sarah, are you usually on your own? Are you finding patients who are just prone, maybe asleep or knocked out?
It's quite a covert job, Dave. I have to be very careful with my missions, how I go in and how I go out, and how I escape the scene. It's
funny choice of words there.
I know it's just the way I have to operate. I don't like having to be so secretive to get my job done, but I have to.
You're almost like a vigilante doctor. You know, you're taking matters into your own hands.
You know what, you were talking about Batman and Robin earlier.
Yes. Well, Batman,
Similar.
not Robin. Yeah.
Well, Batman.
But no, I see the comparison. You are the medical equivalent of Batman.
But more sort of Spider-Man, because I use my digits in such a spidery fashion.
Right. Yeah. Do you have
both?
Do you have?
Absolutely. I have to get my hands on a copy of that book.
No, but we don't want to talk anymore about your fingers, right? But do you have, Sarah? Do you have an alter ego? Do you have a name for when you do these covert operations?
I haven't really thought about it, but I can give myself one.
Let's come up with one now. Barry, you go first.
Bat Doctor.
No, because she said she was more like Spider-Man. Sarah?
Spider Doctor Man.
Better.
Angel of the Morning.
Oh.
Angel of the Morning.
That is a surprising one from you, Sarah.
A little bit sexy, a little bit not medical. Angel of the
Can I
Morning.
just say, Sarah, when you came on this call, I pegged you as an absolute fool, and you've completely turned that around in my eyes. I think what you're doing is amazing. I think the world needs more people like you. Will you stay on the line while we take our next call?
And you know what? I hope you come into me soon, and I hope I can do a little operation on you, darling.
I'd love that. Okay, look, Alan is on the line. Alan, you had one of your junior colleagues fired because they were better than you at your job. Is that right, Alan?
Yeah, that's 100% correct. Yeah.
What do you do, Alan?
So I work in an equestrian center. We train horses for the horse shows. All those big. We're very good at horse shows in Ireland. One guy in particular was just hooching in on my horses. So
what was he doing? What bothered you specifically about what he was doing?
It was kind of the way the horse was looking at him.
Jealousy?
Yeah. There was a want in him. In the
horse or in your colleague?
I'd say it was 40-60 each way.
40-60 each way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say it was 40% the horse, 60% Sean.
And then also the other way around, 60% the horse and 40% Sean.
Yeah, times it would shift.
Okay.
Sometimes it'd be more of a want.
Yeah. Barry, have you seen anything like this before?
No.
Well, that must be common in a lot of workplaces, no?
Interspecies attraction, Dave.
It's not attraction. It's love, and it's like these are sentient animals, and we work. Like I work my hands to the core with these beautiful beasts, and then Sean comes in, and he just doesn't even use anything any lubricant on his hands. He just gets in, and he's like, my hands are oily enough. Scumbag.
So you're talking here about having to get samples like horse semen.
We end up getting some samples,
regardless of whether you go looking for them.
So you see, like with horse racing, the horse has to be full of. So they have to be full of it. So you don't have to do anything with them. You keep all them riled up. It'd be like Muhammad Ali before his big battles. He wouldn't be hanging out with the ladies.
But show jumping is the opposite, and you gotta get it all out.
Show jumping, they have to be really calm and reserved, and
yeah.
What better way to do?
We have
take the wind into someone's sails, yeah.
We bring them into a little pen, and we play some Eckhart Tolle. Have you ever heard of him? Great man. Oprah Winfrey had him on Book of the Year. We play him reading his audiobook, it calms the horse down, and then then we wank off the horses.
Yeah.
Aha.
Well, look,
And
how did you
and-
get Sean fired then, Alan?
Well, I installed CCTV cameras because I noticed there was a change in one of the horses in particular, the way he was moving, and I saw the way Sean was looking at him and the way that the horse was looking at Sean, and it just he wasn't jumping the jumps as well because of the want that was in him for Sean, you know. Because when I do it, he knows that this is just
business.
This is just business. I'm like a man of the night, you know, with my gloved hand.
Kind of like a superhero.
A super spooge hero. And
if you were to give yourself a name, a sort of superhero name, what would it be, Alan?
Horse wanker.
That's genuinely the one I was going to say.
That's what I was thinking as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That means it's the right one.
Angel of the stable.
I don't think that works. Don't think it works as well, Sarah.
Shut up, Sarah.
I will tell you when I want you to talk, though, Sarah. So do stay on the line, but just
sorry about that.
If you're gonna interject, just try and make it better than what we have. Alan, how did Sean get fired then? You installed the CCTV camera. What happened?
Well, we just saw that he wasn't doing the protocol. He was, he was taking off the glove.
Yeah.
He was removing the glove. I mean, that's like, Sarah might know about this. Like, that's like examining someone in the hospital and taking off the glove because you want to feel the touch. You want to feel the touch.
Is that, Sarah, is that something you've ever done?
It's wrong.
Yeah, no, it is. It's malpractice. It's malpractice. When you want to feel the touch. If somebody's especially attractive or something, you go in ungloved and you'll just really feel around the body. And it's very sensual, very intimate. You're not meant to do it.
You're not meant to do it, but it sounds like you do it.
Work is boring, Dave. You need to give yourself a little thrill every now and then and go in ungloved.
Barry, was Alan right to get Sean fired in this situation?
You're crossing a line. Well, you're crossing an even further line the second you make relieving the horse about a purpose other than it being able to show jump well. I mean, that's already morally outrageous. But once you're just doing it for your own jollies and no one else knows about it, then you're really fucked. But then you could argue, Dave, if you hear this argument, that society as we know it has fallen, capitalism has been exposed to be a lie, so we may as well just have our fun where we can. None of it matters. We could all be dead tomorrow.
So we should all take the gloves off, is what you're saying.
Exactly. We should all metaphorically and literally take the gloves off and do whatever we want.
Everybody's saying that the world's going to change after this, and I agree. It's just going to be a fucking free-for-all. Do whatever you want. Why not?
It sounds like it's a bit of a free-for-all for you anyway, Sarah. I don't know if that's going to change things.
You have to live your life, Dave. You have to live your life.
Yeah, wise words. Okay, look, I want to bring on one more caller. Alan, Sarah, stay on the line. Martha is on the line. Martha, you've got an issue with your chief. Is that right, Martha?
Yeah, I have an issue with the chief medical officer here in Glasnevin.
Glasnevin?
In the cemetery?
Yes, the cemetery, yes. We just have chief medical officer here, just checking that everybody's, still dead.
Still dead before they get buried.
You do checkups on buried bodies?
Yes. Every couple of years, you just take one out, pass it around, make sure it's still dead.
That's actually strangely comforting.
It's like that song, take one out, pass it around.
Yes.
99 bottles of beer and all.
Yes.
Lovely song.
So when you originally were talking about the chief medical officer, I assumed they would be checking bodies before they were buried. But you're saying it's actually for bodies that have been buried for some time.
Yes. Well, you give them a quick once over as they're going in,
Okay.
into the casket, and then just as the body's being lowered into the grave, he'll just give it a little bit of a good old boot there, and just see if anything stirs inside. You know.
And Martha, when you're giving the body a quick once over, would you have
Not
gloves
me.
on?
I'm not the chief medical officer.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were involved.
What
in
is your
saying-
role?
What is your role
Uh,
there, Martha?
I am the undersecretary of the military.
What does that have? What do you have to do with it?
Just if any of them are alive, they're gonna need gunning down. You know.
This actually this puts my mind at ease. The fact that Glasnevin, I've written letters to this effect, and no other cemetery has gotten back to me, but I'm glad that Glasnevin has. I fear, Dave, an uprising of sorts of skeletons. It's going to happen, Dave.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna happen, Dave.
That the skeletons will be roaming the streets from the graveyards and overtaking everything. Is that what
Yes.
you're afraid of?
Exactly.
Skeleton war.
Yes. I mean, if it doesn't happen, what have we lost? But if it does happen, we need to be ready
You know
for
what?
it.
It's really terrifying because there is so many skeletons out there in the graveyards waiting to pounce.
Not with Martha. Not with Martha there.
Now, I don't want to worry you, Sarah,
Go on.
but there's a skeleton waiting inside you right now.
I know, and when the time comes, I'll be out of my grave waiting to go. You know, and I don't pass any judgment on the skeletons for wanting to get out of the graves and have a bit of fun.
If
They're
the
right.
skeletons start taking over, Sarah may be one of them, but
It won't-
I have a system in place, a system of levers and pulleys, to remove my skeleton from my body and shoot it into space.
You don't trust your skeleton. You don't trust it for what
I
it
do
might
not.
do.
I don't trust
scared
it
of your
1
own
inch. I
skeleton.
don't trust it as far as I could throw it.
No, it's
Wait,
like people
wait,
are
wait.
afraid of their shadow. You're so scared of your inner skeleton.
My shadow is a different issue. I mean, the shadow war is further down
You've
the
lost
line.
that before it's begun, if you ask me.
We have lost that. We know
Right.
that. Listen, I will throw my hands up if they still have bones in them. As soon as the shadows start coming for us, it's over.
And they'll
Let's
do the
just
same.
talk peace. Let's say, okay, you've got us, shadows. We didn't see you coming, but here you are. Let's talk peace. What are your terms?
Hey, hang on a second, Martha, because you said if the skeletons do rise from their grave and they attack, you've got a system in place whereby you can remove your own skeleton from your body. But
In
you're
one
supposed to be
catapult motion and throw it into space.
yeah, but you're supposed to be the first line of defense against the skeletons. So where does that leave us?
Oh, where does that leave us, Dave? What about a thing called nanotechnology?
Explain.
I have built little robots that are going to take the place of my bones should the need arise. Not before, not just because I want to go dancing on a Friday night. No, not a time for it. I may be tempted. Yes, I've been drinking. I'm like, hey, it'll be nice to go dance and pick up some young fella. Well, what about using the nano robots instead of your bones? Not tonight, Martha. Get a grip. We can't do this. We need to wait until the bones are coming first. Okay, don't let them know what's going on before it happens. What are you going to show your cards? No. So, if the skeletons rise from their graves, my bones are going to shoot out of my body and into space. It's the only place it's safe because you can't bury them in the ground. They can just dig back out again. That's their whole fucking deal. No, then we will have my nano robots will take over and guns a-blazing, here I come.
It strikes
And I'm
me.
encouraging you and your listeners to sign up. I have, I can send the nanobots to you in the post, and so you can be ready for this eventuality as well.
Dave, could I just say, fuck the nurses, fuck the doctors, fuck the medical professionals, fuck the lot of them. The real frontline heroes is Martha.
Just
Thank you.
Martha.
Just Martha and whoever else she has defending us from a skeleton uprising.
Yes,
I
well,
salute you, Martha.
not the chief. as I originally rang up saying I had a problem with my chief. Isn't that right?
Yeah, what's
No.
your issue with the chief?
Chief won't let me do the nanobots on him. What's the point in him then? You know? He's like, those aren't nanobots.
What does he think they are?
Just like sandwiches and bits of cardboard.
Sandwiches?
Sandwiches, bits of cardboard, a mouse or two, because they're in there eating the sandwiches. And there's some of a guitar in there. Mostly cement, you know.
But that's
concrete
not
you
what it
just
is.
pour
You're
in.
saying it is nanobots.
It's nanobots. What is a nanobot? You know, what is he, the master of nanobots? Yes, he has a master's in nanotechnology, sure. We all have a master's in nanotechnology. Come
But
on.
do
Do
smart for
you?
you.
Do you?
Do I have a master's in nanotechnology? Well, I built my own master's in nanotechnology at this point.
It sounds to me like you've got a cardboard box full of old sandwiches and mice. And that's not going to help us when the skeletons
And a
rise
bit
up
of
out of the
guitar.
ground. And a bit of a guitar.
It's nothing without the bit of guitar.
Listen, Martha, if you had to give yourself a superhero name, because it's just kind of something we're doing this week, what would you call yourself?
I'd call myself Randu Hoover.
Shayrandu Hoover?
No.
Sorry. What was it?
Randu Hoover.
Great. Barry, thoughts on that name?
I was thinking the same.
I'm open to feedback. Give me some notes. What were you saying, Barry?
I had the exact same one in my head for you. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah. It sums it up. It just you hear that name and you think defender against the skeletons.
Yes.
So we've got
capitulator to the shadows.
Well, yes.
Yes.
So if we, were to bring this whole group together, we've got the Angel of the Morning, the Horse Wanker, Shahun. Is there the beginning of a force here that can protect us in the future?
No.
We could be mutually powered by all the hospital waste that I can get my hands on. We could fashion a sort of a rocket and blast off and do God knows what.
Well, I just don't know how my particular set of skills of trapping a horse and relieving it, I don't know how that would help. But if I got on top of the horse,
you could do that to evil supervillains. Where you kind of calm them down from their evil plan.
Dirty aliens in space, you can distract them, wank them off, and then we're good to go again.
It's a very useful skill, and whether we're dealing with the undead, some kind of animal uprising, or space aliens, we're going to need someone who can wank them off and subdue them.
Though you can't whack off a skeleton, Dave.
You know what you can do? You can finger them.
And that's where the fourth member of the Avengers comes in.
Oh, Dave. Dave, you're going to be on board?
No, it's me.
It's
what?
Barry's the expert there.
Oh.
Although I like to think of myself as a competent amateur.
I'll be the judge of that, Dave.
I don't think that's a good idea. I'm afraid we're out of time. I want to thank all of my callers today, but I especially want to thank Mark Canton, Sophie Shanley, Peter McGann, and Andrea Farrell. Guys, do you have anything you want to plug while we're on lockdown? Mark?
Yeah, my band has a new album out everywhere that you can music. It's called What Now, and we're called The Supermarkets. It's not really comedy songs, but it's just music. Please take a listen.
Cool. What Now about Supermarkets?
Yeah.
Peter, have you got anything?
Just if a good lockdown listen is, again, it's a show Pulp Injection. You'll find it on SoundCloud, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. It's just a load of funny radio plays that might pass the time.
Talking it out, an improvised weekly show on the RT player that a lot of us are in. Listen to that.
Thanks,
Watch it.
Andrea?
Disaster.
I've got nothing, but I'll promote some other people's stuff.
Please.
Ed Salmon's Salmon and Knowledge and Shane Clifford's podcast, and also Chapsize Mass. That's on, I think, weekly, which is, I watched it last night and it was one of the funniest things I've seen in lockdown.
Deadly. I'm definitely going to check that out. Brilliant. Thank you, guys. Thank you to Head Stuff Podcast Network for having us and to John O'Farrell for our theme music. That's all for this week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.